Welcome to my cabin life, a sacred pause in a world that rarely stops. Lately, I've been thinking about how obsessed we are with always becoming. Like becoming more focused, becoming more healed, becoming more productive. Even when you go on YouTube or you scroll through TikTok or Instagram, you will always see a video on how to become this and how to become that. It's almost like we're constantly chasing a better version of ourselves that always feels out of reach. But what if for a moment we stopped trying to become anything and just allowed ourselves to be? The Wi-Fi is bad, so I've been out of internet since I arrived this morning. So I was kind of bored and I decided to explore the backyard of this cabin. By the way, meet Zulu. He's the house dog here and he's the best companion ever.
You guys, look at this.
Taking a walk in this woods really changed something in me. While I was back home in Nigeria, before I took this trip, I had been suffering from this, I don't want to say depression. I can't explain it, but my heart felt very heavy. But being in this cabin without Wi-Fi and unable to use my phone made me realize the reason I've been feeling overwhelmed.
It was the phone. It was that damn phone.
Yes, it was the phone. My life back in Nigeria circled around shooting and editing, and that made me be on social media a lot. And although that's my work and that's how I make money, it also exposed me to a lot of unnecessary information. And as someone who easily absorbs information, I was overstimulated. Now, I'm not someone to follow gossip blogs except the ones that post me, but somehow I got to know a lot about other people's lives, and that opened the door to comparison. At this point, I was worried because I've moved far away from the cabin and the doors are open with all my valuables. I've been told Rwanda is safe, so
country, almost very little to no crime.
So what is this obsession with becoming? Now, it could be a healthy obsession. I mean, we're human and it's inherent in human nature to always strive for better. I mean, we possess the highest level of intelligence amongst all mammals as far as research is concerned. We went from learning how to make fire to crafting our own tools and now manufacturing war machines to protect ourselves. Evolution has shown that self-improvement is not just a trait, it's a survival skill for us. However, that obsession could become unhealthy when you start to feel like you are not enough as a person. I think another underrated survival skill is the ability to give yourself grace. A lot of people don't know how to give themselves grace. And as someone who used to be very hard on myself, I've had to learn this the hard way. We all work at different paces in life and you need to stop being obsessed with catching up with someone else's pace.
Okay, but when is the Wi-Fi coming?
I'll be asking the boss, but he told me that he will handle it in the afternoon.
Okay.
Sitting in the car, listening to blind，周边每个角落，只有你和我，不需要多说，笑得那么快乐。我该说些什么？停在这一刻，一丝希望迷，我们两个在一生中合着爱，在这光阴而来，不停辗转，不曾停摆。面对着黑暗，有光芒在你眼中流转。
The cabin has been teaching me something I never really learned before. How to do nothing. Not the kind of nothing where you're still scrolling, still consuming, still distracted, but real nothing. Quiet, stillness. Honestly, at first it made me anxious. I felt guilty, like I was wasting time, like I should be creating something, fixing something, improving something. We live in a world where even healing feels like a project, another version of productivity. But what if rest was the most radical thing we could do? What if not doing was actually a deeper kind of becoming? In a world ruled by capitalism and hustle culture, rest is seen as lazy, but I see it as an act of rebellion.
Basically, the houses are strong.
And just like how the Bible puts it, a house that is set on a hill cannot be shaken. So if your foundation is set in God, you cannot feel pressured by whatever is going on in the world. So far you know that God's got you. Doing nothing doesn't mean you're lazy. It means you're listening, you're trusting God, and you're letting life breathe without trying to shape it obsessively. And in those quiet moments where there is no goal, no pressure, I feel like I meet the truest version of myself. Doing nothing also doesn't mean you don't do things to maintain yourself. This post doesn't intend to encourage mediocrity. In this period, self-care is highly important, such as doing your skincare, retail therapy, and of course, making yourself a very nice meal. Being very intentional about how you treat yourself during this period is a must. What you put into your body, what you say to yourself from your mouth. You also need to be very mindful of your thoughts, because the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So you need to make sure everything within you and around you edifies God and edifies you as a mini God. And as you can see, everything around me edifies God and edifies myself. The giant mountains, the tall trees, the little birds, the tiny bugs, everything is an appraisal and a testament of God's craftsmanship. But even the Creator gave us this beautiful nature, rested on the seventh day. So why me, the creation? Why do I not deserve a break from the chaos of this world? I've realized most times the reason people are so obsessed with becoming is so they can be treated better, so they can be seen as deserving of rest, to show that they've earned whatever they have. But I believe we are worth more than whatever we own or the goals we have achieved. It is true that the world treats us based on how successful we seem, but this journey is personal. Would you treat yourself well? When relating with people, I love to strip myself of everything. Some people think I'm doing well for my age, others don't. Regardless of what I think I might have achieved, regardless of my pharmacy degree, regardless of the money in my account or my beauty, regardless of my followers count on social media, I like to come to people as just a girl and see if they still think I'm deserving. The truth is, most people don't, and that's something you need to come to acceptance of. I always love to say, beauty aside, social media aside, pharmacy degree aside, I really do feel like I am amazing, because even if I didn't have those things, I still love myself. I believe I'll still be an amazing person. So you need to ask yourself that question. If you were stripped of your status in the society, your position at work, your money in your bank account, your beauty, your achievements, would you still love yourself? Would you still think you are deserving of rest? Rest isn't a reward for hard work. It's a right, a birthright, a remembering. So today, I'm letting myself be held by the slowness, by the silence, and by the sweetness of doing nothing.